In this tutorial, we are going to explore the texture coordinates generation in SimLab Composer. In this scene, we have a model of a cube, and it has the default material applied to it, and no texture map. Go to the Material tab and apply a material with a texture to the cube. Drag and drop the colored wood material on the cube to apply it. As you can see in the texture thumbnail in the material properties for the cube, the texture is a checker of different colors of wood, but it appears on the cube distorted and irregular. That is the result of having unmapped UV coordinates on the cube, which in return cause errors in reading the texture map. To fix this, you need to generate proper texture coordinates. Go to the Texture Coordinates tab. As you can see, there are several types of coordinates mapping, each for a different type of geometry. And since the object we have is a cube, select the box type. Click on Run. You have generated new texture coordinates for the cube, and the wooden texture is displayed correctly. Let's explore some available options in the Texture Coordinates tab. The U-scale and the V-scale controls the size of the generated coordinates, increasing the scale to a value higher than one would repeat the texture map on the object. Set them to a value of 5 and click Run. The texture is now repeated 5 times the original. This is the result of repeating the texture 5 times vertically and 5 times horizontally. The U and V offset nudges the texture vertically or horizontally. Increase the U offset value and click Run to notice the change occurring to the cube. The rotation value controls the angle at which the texture coordinates are generated. Set it to a value of 45 degrees and click Run. The texture map is now diagonal with a 45 degrees rotation. Deselect the capped option and click Run again. This option will toggle whether to include the top and bottom sides of the objects in the texture coordinates generation. Click on Press Run. This will start the texture coordinates generation presentation mode. The presentation mode is an assistant that allows you to have a visual control over the texture coordinates properties. A projection box will appear with white dots to control each side and a blue dot to control the center of the projection box. Click on the blue dot and rotate it. Then click the green mark to apply the changes. Notice that the texture map was rotated in accordance to the amount of rotation you specified. Click on the white dot on the right side. An arrow will appear. Drag the arrow outwards to increase the size of the projection box in that direction. Now it has a height value of 0.2 instead of 0.1. Now if you apply the changes, you will see that the texture has a stretch factor of 2. All the sides affected by the modifications are stretched to double their original values, while the other sides remain the same. To set the remaining side's height to an equivalent value, select the white dot on that side and drag the arrow to a value of 0.2, or just type the number in the floating box. Go to Create and click on Sphere. Apply a material from the Material library. The texture map is not displayed correctly. Go to the Texture Coordinates tab and select Sphere and click Run. With a simple click, we have created texture coordinates for the sphere. The same tools we applied in the box generation applies to the sphere, as well as the plane and cylinder geometry. The texture coordinates generation in SimLab Composer is simple to use and effective. It will save you time by allowing you to enhance the texture display without the need to revert to the 3D design software.